episode of the Evan.
Okay, so we coming in some minutes late, and so would want to apologize for that. I think we're having some technical issues, so I'm not sure we've gone through that. Yeah, looks like it's all good now. Okay, so yeah, as usual, we pleased to come your way. We pleased to have a part of your day. And so let's quickly get this and let's get going. Um, you know what I'm going to say next? I'm going to ask you to um, share the feed and let's do this. Okay, so Prissy, are you good? Done sharing your feed?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. So once again, thanks for joining us. And as usual, when you join in, shoot a hello, shoot a hi, and we will loop you into the conversation. Last week, we had a discussion about, the question that came in. The gentleman asking if he should go ahead with a lady that he loves, but is having a child. The lady has a child, and so wants to know if it is good or it's advisable to go in. And so that was where we stopped last week, and we're going to continue this week. Prissy's stance was that yes, if you if you love me, you should love the child as well, right? Prissy, that's what you're saying. So if the proof of the guy's love for the lady is actually to go ahead to accommodate the child to open up to have the child as part of the family. And um, we want to start this way. Quick question, Prissy. Would you advise the lady to drop off the child with someone else and focus on the marriage or focus on the relationship? And then in that way, the child will not come in between both partners. What do you think about that?
I personally will not do that. And so,
Okay, why?
yeah. And I have, um, I am responsible or obliged to take care of my child.
Okay,
So, I don't see why I should go and drop my child somewhere
okay,
and come and work on a relationship.
okay,
What if the relationship doesn't work out? Yeah, because this is a part of you. The child is a part of you that you
okay,
can't cut off, and you
right,
brought the child to the world. So you are responsible for the child. Um, let's assume that somebody has a dog. I have a pet, right?
okay,
And you are dating me. I keep a pet. Most people will not let even their pets go because of a relationship. How
okay,
much more a child that you brought to the world?
okay,
Yes, so I will not, if this is my life, I have a child, it's either you are okay with it or you are not okay with it. So if you come in and you feel that you cannot be around me with my child, then you should look elsewhere. Yeah, because I can throw my child somewhere in the future, maybe it doesn't work out because this is a relationship.
right,
I won't do that for you.
okay. Okay, so in effect, you would call someone who would do that irresponsible?
Sometimes it could be a sign of irresponsibility. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Because um you brought somebody to the world who did
okay,
not ask you to bring him or her to the world,
okay,
right? And between that stage of that childhood phase, you are supposed to be, it's mandatory, you are supposed to be there for your child.
okay,
Yeah, so why would you say that because of my joy and happiness, let me throw you away?
No, not throw you away. Throw you away sounds quite
So
harsh.
that's what you are doing. You are throwing your child away for your
No,
happiness because your child is.
You handing your child over to someone, a family member, to take care of the child. Even it could even be the child's dad.
If it's the child's dad, that is fine if you can agree to. But I believe that apart from the parents, if you take the child to maybe a grandma or something, the sort of nurturing you have to give to the child might not necessarily be the sort of nurturing they would give to that child. And so, for me, I feel that your responsibility first is towards the child. Your child is your responsibility.
Correct.
And you have love. So you can decide to chase your love. And sometimes people do that. And then in the future, the relationship doesn't work. And then this child that has been handed over to somebody else to take care of may not even have that motherly or whatever love for you. And now you want to go back and depend on that child for emotional support. But this child will always be there for you as your child. So I think you should think about it. Are you going to throw the child somewhere so that the child doesn't come?
The throw.
Yeah, that's what you are doing because you feel that this child is going to be come between your love and whatever. So you either decide to go for your love or go for your child or go for both.
Do you think this is the reason it seems quite difficult for people who already have children to get into new relationships?
I think that it's not difficult for the men in quotes, because you realize that usually even when a woman loses the husband and has children, it is difficult for the woman to remarry because of the children. Because women will usually think about the consequences of how the relationship will affect their kids. This new relationship will affect it.
No, but that's not what you think the men don't think.
Oh, for men, usually I think men will usually bring, for me, I'm not saying generally, but I think that men usually think about they wanting a partner or they want somebody to share their life with. They think about that first before thinking about their kids. So mostly men would just even break, like maybe after a divorce, they just go in and marry without like thinking about how it will affect the kids or whatever. So I think that it generally has to do with women. Women are usually, maybe because we carry the kids, so we have that sort of bond with them, and so we feel that we have to think about them first. And it's not easy when you go into labor, you know all that you've gone through, so you just can't throw away your child somewhere. You want to be there for your child. Yeah.
No, so what I'm hearing from you is that women should have the child as their priority.
I think it's just the way the two of us, like men and women. I also feel like it's the way we process things. Yeah, so for women, we usually want to be there for our children and all that.
Oh no, I mean that's very unfair to say. Men also want to be there for their children.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the general trend, and for a man, usually that they are like, when it comes to maybe you say that we have even irresponsible women.
Yeah, correct.
But if you are comparing irresponsibility in women and men, you see that a man can
I wouldn't allow you to learn.
No, I am saying with experience. Like a man can be there and eat and everything, and without thinking about has my child eaten or something. Or they might easily go and leave their kids with their grandparents.
That's very, very, very unfair. And I think that sometimes when there is a breakup in marriage or relationships, that's what most women communicate to their children. That's very, very, very
usually when there's like an issue in the marriage and there's a breakup, when the men pack and go, you see that there's most of the time there's something like that. You see that where are the kids? Where are the kids' father? And he's gone. He's fled and left the kids with.
I mean, the words you are using sound quite Fled? Like how?
Maybe
And and
there's a
and
breakup
he
in the
will not.
marriage, and
Yes,
usually you find the women hanging on to the children, and the man is gone somewhere to start his life with maybe another woman or something.
and there could be reasons why these things happen. We will not digress and go into that, but I think it's pretty unfair to just generalize and go.
That's why I'm saying that it is not every man
Yes,
that
but
is a general
usually no,
thing.
but even the usually I don't agree with it.
Ah, well,
I don't agree with it. Don't I think this kind of picture has been painted a lot. I mean, over the years, that oh, men really don't the more irresponsible gender when it comes to marriage. Men really don't care about what their kids will eat or what the hey. eh, eh, Maybe we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that some other time.
I think that is why, for me, that
Mhm,
is why I feel that
mhm.
it's like a woman usually is sticking for there for my kids no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I don't want to bring, but for someone who will process it and let me find love first,
Uh-huh.
would say, okay, let me go for my love first, and whatever happens, the child would adjust or something. And so when maybe, and usually in marriage, the man has more authority in the marriage.
Okay.
So if I marry and me as a man, I want
Yeah.
my child to stay with me,
Okay.
the woman might not really have a say.
Okay.
Are you
No, no,
getting
no, no,
me?
no.
No, the
No,
woman might have a say, but because
yeah.
I am in authority, the child can be with us. But then because I am the woman and I have to submit to the man,
Mm-hmm.
if I have a child and the man says that I don't want the child, then
Okay.
the child must necessarily go. And so the woman wants to be sure that this child can stay with me, and the man I am going to get married to, before I decide to commit. Because after marriage, you are supposed to be submitting to the man. So I think that that's also the dynamics that play in it. Yeah.
Okay. So effectively, if a man you trying to be with really doesn't like your child, you think that you need to move on because if the man doesn't like the child, it's likely not going to work relationship wise.
Yeah, it might not work. It might sometimes, but it might not also. It's a 50-50 thing.
Okay, so let's try to analyze this. How then do you think a man can come into a relationship, okay, with his child, and the woman also comes with a child, but the man will still not like the woman's child?
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if it is like that, you would also advise the woman to look elsewhere, right?
Yeah. Because why would you want to favor your child and then my child cannot be favored?
Um
It's either both of us have our kids going away or we have both our kids staying.
okay, yeah, I get what you mean. But if so would you rather the party that doesn't like, so let's still with the initial submission, if the guy doesn't like the child of the lady, I mean, would you rather the person voices it out earlier, or should just assume that everything is fine going to the marriage, and then when you get married
I
there
think it should be from day one. Let
okay
the person know that I am not comfortable, or I will not let your child stay with us when we get married. Then
okay
the person, your partner might, if the person wants to be in a relationship, can make
okay
alternative plans for the child.
okay
Yeah, but if the person is not ready for that, then the person would back out as early as they can before the relationship thrives to a point where they feel that um you have put them in a tight corner.
okay. Now let me ask this from a woman's perspective. How is it that women can just decide that okay, because you are not in favor of my child, really come into the marriage with me, I would rather stay unmarried. How do they process it? Do they put a child and a potential spouse on the same level, on the same pedestal? Do they how are you able to decide that, okay, if this is what it is, then for my whole life I'm going to stay single so I can take care of my child? How does that work?
I would not say all women, because there are some women who are very selfish. They don't even care about anybody and not even their kids. There are women like that. They don't, it is just about their happiness.
No, is it selfish or they want to continue with life?
No, some people just think about just their, even if their spouses are there, like they are even with their spouse,
Okay.
the father of their kids.
Okay.
Everything is just about them. There are people like that. They don't even think about any other person's welfare. It's just about them. So such a person can easily say, "Oh, let me move on with my life." After all, so the child also has his or her life to live.
Let me ask this person in a different way.
Mm.
If there is a woman that thinks that having a spouse is also, so the woman has a child, right? And thinks that having a spouse is also very important and has its place. And so, because of that, I'm not going to neglect looking out for a spouse because of my child. Are you calling that person selfish just because the person
No,
decides
if
that?
you are going to look for a spouse,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you will not be able to get a spouse and not have your child. There's a possibility that you can also get your spouse and have your child.
You could, but that's with the assumption that that spouse will like your child.
Yeah.
Now, if the situation is always okay, you don't get a spouse who likes your child, are you saying that that woman should be tagged selfish because the woman feels like getting a spouse is also a very important
Okay,
thing?
so when you take an action, you should be
Okay.
ready to live with the consequences, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so you can also decide to go for your spouse
Okay.
and neglect your child or leave your child with somebody else. But don't go and
Neglect your child. If you leave your child with someone else, are you calling that neglect?
sometimes it's neglect, depending on who you leave your child with. Because you know who can take care of your child and who cannot take good care of your child.
Okay.
And so some people take their case to people that they know that this person cannot take care of my child.
No,
Because of my marriage, let me just dump my child to and leave that child with that person so that I can have that liberty to enjoy my marriage.
No, I don't think a woman will deliberately carry the child to someone who um she knows can't take care of the child. I don't think a woman,
If that is the
sane
only
person.
if that is the only option there, and the person knows that, okay, this is the only person that is capable of taking care of my, and that is the only person available, but I also have to enjoy my life.
Okay.
So I am leaving that child with this person so that I can go on with my life or enjoy my life. Then maybe something happens in the future.
Okay.
You don't now go back and expect that that child will be like all over you and all that. And it happens most of the time. People neglect their kids for the sake of marriage. They go and their head hits. Then they come to that same child that you threw away so that you can enjoy your life. You get it? And now that child might even not be, maybe might think that if you had taken care of me, I would be somewhere better than I am today, or something. And now you want that child to be responsible for you when you were not there for that child. So
is it not enough that you gave birth to that child and you even looked for a place to
give birth to? No, that is not how normally it's supposed to be.
You even found a place for the child.
If you give birth to a child,
yeah,
and you are capable of taking care of the child,
okay,
you should take care of your child.
Now, taking care, and let's be clear about this, taking care only doesn't mean that the child is staying with you. the child could be with someone and you could still be taking care of the child.
Yeah, you can take care of the child with money, but there will not be that
No,
mother
not
child
just money.
bond.
You could be visiting that child once in
But
a while.
doesn't the child also have that yearning to be with them, live with the parents?
Yes, but life situation is not allowing for that to happen.
Yeah, so don't go and later on, because you had the choice to keep your child with you or hand the
And
child
and
to
and
someone
and put a
else.
full stop to your life.
So that is why I'm saying that you weigh the side. Is it your life that matters to you, or the child's welfare that matters to you?
Can't you have the best of both worlds? Do you always need to put the child ahead of everything?
Sometimes, sometimes you have to, depending on the stage, because you have that child for maybe 18 years, only 18 years of the child's life,
Okay.
and you have the
18
rest of your
no,
life.
no, no, no.
Mm.
18 years. After 18 years, you might not be able to live any meaningful in fact, you might not be able to even get a good suitor. That's the
Yeah, so if
reality.
the suitor
By
is
then,
good, like you feel is good, then that good person should be capable of accommodating.
the fact that someone is not accommodating your child doesn't mean the person is not.
Well, for me, my standard of a good person, for me personally, the person should be accommodating.
That's a very
You can accommodate my dog and my pets.
that's a
You
very
should be able to accommodate my child.
standard. Anyway, Sarah is saying that Prissy is right. Many women do leave their children to others they know perfectly well can't take care of them. I've seen it happen there. Yeah, now Sarah, yes, yeah, I get it. It's not like, and that's what I'm trying to put across. It's not like they know perfectly well this person can take care of the child and they go ahead to give the child to the person. I think what happens is that when they look around, they think that is the best option and they hand over the child to the person, right? So I I don't really think any sane mother would know that no, this one is not good for my child, and will still go ahead. I don't think so, unless there are crazy people
Yeah,
there. No, but
like you are saying, it's the person's the person going to enjoy their life, and the child.
no, no, no,
So
no, no.
sometimes this is the option available. I
The
want to
way
go and enjoy my life.
the way you are stressing on enjoy their life, it's like trying to enjoy your life is so bad a thing. Like how can you decide that you're going to enjoy life at the expense of a child?
Because the child, they don't ask you to bring them to the world. So if you have brought that child to the world, you are supposed to ensure that you give the child the best of life.
Absolutely,
And so if you
absolutely,
are saying that
and
now your dad is no longer available, or I cannot have access to your dad, so
yeah,
let me go and enjoy my life with somebody else, and you to, like, however you are going to manage your life,
yeah.
I cannot. So let's so you have left, so it means that that child, you were there conditionally for the child because maybe the father was with you. So now
No,
that the
no,
father is no
no,
longer with you, you
no.
have thrown the child somewhere so that you go and enjoy your life.
There you
That
go
love
again
is conditional.
with the word thrown. You did not throw the baby away. You only when you analyze life at that point in time, that was the best decision that presented itself. That was the best option that presented itself. So okay, now let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. So you are assuming, and a lot of people, let me call it a mistake. A lot of people make this mistake. You are assuming that you are giving your all for this child so that what at the end of the day the child would
So the person would become, they reach the full potential that child,
and also support you, right?
not even support, but that
Okay.
full potential, or that God-given potential that the child
Why
has to.
why are you not also trying to live your full potential, your God-given potential, just because of a child?
Can't you live your God-given potential without going for a man who is not willing to be with your child? Can you also
can you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
Can't you live your full potential without going for a man who is not willing to be with your child? Can you also not get a man that is willing to be with you and your child?
Oh, just analyze the situation well. The lady is trying, and
My
it looks
question
like
is that is that
everyone.
man the only man in the world?
No. So what I'm saying is that if the lady keeps trying to get other men, and they all don't, they
And
are all
maybe,
not
maybe that man
comfortable
is
with.
not the perfect.
No, they are all not
the
comfortable
perfect.
with. No,
There
all
will
the
definitely
options are.
there will definitely be someone who is comfortable, and I know.
No, you are losing sight of the fact that there are more women globally than men.
They will definitely
So
find
so
someone
so
who's
so
comfortable.
it's not like you have abundance of supply. Demand for
When you ask God something, you get it. So I believe that maybe the woman hasn't asked
and
for a
no,
man
no, you can't just assume.
who is
Probably
the person will come.
when the woman asks, God's answer to that was that man who is not necessarily interested in the baby. Can God not answer that way?
God says that
Should God
when you
should
ask, He will give you.
should God
So whatever you ask, you will get.
should God's answer always be what we think it should be?
For me, I know that when I ask something specifically, I get
Should
it.
God's answer always be
So
what we
I
expect?
believe that God gives us things that are good for
Should
us.
God's answer always be what we expect it to be?
Why is it that God will give you something that will be at your detriment or will not be
No,
helpful to you?
someone who loves you with all his heart, his soul, his mind, everything, every part of him.
Yeah, I believe
But
that
no,
usually
no,
someone
no,
like the person you are
no,
describing will be
no,
very accommodating
no,
to
no.
anything about you.
Unless we give you your clay and you create your
No,
own
the
person.
way you are describing the person
The
with all your heart and everything, that person
it doesn't mean the person
that
should
person
love.
would love your
No.
child. Even if the person doesn't love your child, the person will accommodate your child.
Unless you're telling me you will create that new person who definitely with all those qualities would love your child. It doesn't work that way. There would be something that that person cannot take, and in this case it is the child, right? So a lot of ladies out there, God might be answering your prayers, and that answer to the prayer might be that person who is not necessarily accommodating of your child. Then you say that, oh God, you did not hear me. Okay, so Carrie says that lack of resources. As we grow, as we grow, the market shrinks for women and increases for me. Teenage time and after 20, it is women in demand, right? So to add to that, you don't always have the opportunity.
Yeah, so that's and you have an option to also decide if you want to be with your child or stay a single mom. So your child is at an age where you feel that they can move on their own, and then you can also live your life. You Yeah, so it's also another option.
How do women seem to be able to take such decisions so
Yeah,
easily?
so women are usually, I don't know, but for some reason,
Mhm.
like I said, women can usually stay alone even without kids when their spouses are gone, without even marrying that far. Men will marry like within 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, they are married. But women can stay like 5 years, 10 years and still be there,
Is
not married.
it because the opportunity doesn't present itself, or they decide to? Okay,
I think it's just a nature. I think it's just
really?
the nature of women.
Then why is it that when they are growing up, they yearn to be married and stuff? If that's the nature, then we should see it right from birth, right?
No, when we married, at least she has married, she has experienced marriage before.
Oh,
Yeah,
so the quest to get married at a young age is just to experience marriage and know what it is. It's not like a lasting yearning to.
Yeah, if it will last, like it works out fine. If it doesn't work out and it doesn't
I
go as expected, it doesn't go as expected.
I
Yeah,
would
okay.
really I would really want to understand the psychology of women just being able to say, okay, I mean, if I wouldn't get someone to accommodate my kids, then
Yeah,
I'm
because
staying
for
away.
us, childbirth is a life and death thing for us. So we have that strong bond in a marriage. We can have a child, but
Okay,
that child birth that I'm going through
okay,
can I can make me lose my life,
okay,
right?
okay,
So for me, I feel that there is something, how do you call it? Um I feel that that child is also like a part of me, a treasure.
okay,
Maybe for a man,
okay.
you were there that your wife brought a child, but you haven't gone through that labor, and it wasn't a life and death situation for you. You get it? So
You were
when
there in
you
the
have,
church, then your wife brought a child.
so
But
when you have to find love, when you have to find love and think about the child, you can easily go and like, let me also live my life, let me enjoy my life. And then this child is also, but for us, we see the child as a part of us because
okay,
we could have easily died.
okay.
Also, so this is like a treasure for us. It's a treasure for us.
Is that the reason why most women or wives appear to cherish their children more than
I
their
think
husband?
sometimes, yeah, it's placed on their psychology too, because of that thing they've gone through. Like they feel like this child is part of me, and my husband can leave me at any time. Sometimes that thing plays out on it.
That's
But for my child is always my child, would always continue to be my child.
how
Would-
how on earth do people value
it's not
a
supposed to be so, but
do people value a gift more than the one who gave them the gift? Oh, okay. So on that gifting note, husbands, know that sometimes you are in competition with your own child because it appears the women, because of all that they say about childbirth and everything,
yeah, we go through
they
a lot to
they
have
they,
a baby.
they
So
actually love their children more than you. That's breaking news.
it's not
So
it's not necessarily true, but we have that sort of attachment for our kids. So
you don't
it's
have that
hard.
you don't have that attachment for your husband.
No, we are not saying so. This person that is coming in new,
Hmm.
it's not even your husband yet.
No, no,
So
no. So
let's say you have a first love, which is your child, and then this person is now coming in. So this child, this man is going to be sort of like a second.
and that's even troubling. How on earth should someone you really intend to marry or you really intend to live life with
But you know your
become
child
second?
first. You know your child first
But
before
you okay, okay.
you are knowing that man.
Very, very good analogy. Should you also love your parents more because you knew them before you knew your husband to be?
You are moving away from.
Oh, this time I'm moving away. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, on that moving away note, let's move away from this discussion. So it looks like it's time. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode of Dear Man. We'll come your way again next week with yet another episode. Clearly, the lesson I've taken from today's episode is that our wives might not love us as much as it appears. They love the children more. So um, again, no two relationships are the same. Thanks, cheers, and bye for now. That is